The moment this rumor started circulating behind the scenes of the league, it felt like the kind of whisper that usually dies in silence. But instead it grew louder with every passing hour, shaking the foundation of what people thought was possible in professional football. The idea of the Dallas Cowboys pulling off what many are already calling the biggest signing in the history of the sport sounds almost unreal. Yet insiders insist that the name involved makes it impossible to ignore. Tyreek Hill, a player whose speed alone changes the geometry of the field, suddenly being linked to America's team has sent shockwaves through locker rooms, front offices, and fan bases across the entire league. This is not being framed as a simple roster move, not even as a blockbuster trade, but as a cultural reset, a statement that the Cowboys are done playing safe and are ready to dominate conversations as much as they dominate headlines. People close to the organization say this move is about legacy, about rewriting how elite talent views Dallas, and about reminding everyone that when the Cowboys move, the entire NFL feels it. The speculation alone has already altered expectations, reshaped preseason narratives, and forced rivals to quietly ask themselves how they would possibly defend an offense built around speed, swagger, and star power on this level. What makes this rumor even more explosive is the way it challenges everything fans thought they knew about the Cowboys' long-term philosophy. For years, critics have claimed that Dallas hesitates when it comes to all-in moves, preferring balance over boldness, sustainability over spectacle. Now, suddenly, the whispers suggest the exact opposite, painting a picture of a front office willing to shatter financial norms and redefine positional value just to land a generational weapon. Tyreek Hill is not described internally as a wide receiver, but as an offensive system by himself. Someone who forces defensive coordinators into panic mode before the ball is even snapped. Sources hint that the Cowboys see him as the missing spark, the kind of presence that turns good teams into feared teams. This speculation has fans imagining defensive backs backing up 10 yards, safeties cheating toward the sideline, and entire game plans collapsing under the pressure of raw speed. The rumor carries a sense of inevitability, as if Dallas believes that once Hill wears the star, the league will be forced to adapt to them, not the other way around. Whether this move happens or not, the message behind the rumor is already loud and clear. Around league circles, the financial side of this potential deal is being spoken about in hushed tones, almost like a secret too big to say out loud. Executives from other teams are reportedly stunned by the figures being floated, numbers so massive that they challenge the very ceiling of what a non-quarterback player is supposed to earn. Every dollar, every guarantee, every incentive is rumored to scream historic. People are saying this would not just be the largest contract ever given to a wide receiver, but the largest non-quarterback commitment the sport has ever seen, redefining market standards overnight. The Cowboys, according to speculation, believe Tyreek Hill is worth every cent because his impact goes far beyond catches and touchdowns. He sells jerseys, fills stadiums, dominates highlight reels, and becomes the face of a new era. The rumor suggests Dallas is willing to absorb short-term pain for long-term immortality, betting that championships, brand growth, and global attention will outweigh any financial gymnastics required. This kind of thinking terrifies rivals because it signals a franchise acting with supreme confidence, unafraid of criticism, and fully committed to chasing greatness regardless of the cost. From the perspective of the locker room, insiders say the mere possibility of this signing has already changed the internal energy of the Cowboys. Players are rumored to be buzzing, imagining what practices would look like with Tyreek Hill stretching the field, forcing everyone to elevate their level of focus and intensity. Coaches are allegedly sketching concepts that were previously impossible, plays built around motion, misdirection, and speed that borders on unfair. The speculation paints a picture of an offense that never lets defenses breathe, one that attacks horizontally and vertically with equal violence. Veterans see this rumored move as a sign that the organization believes the window is wide open, while younger players view it as proof that Dallas is the place where stars are born and legends are cemented. Even those skeptical of the rumor admit that if any franchise were bold enough to attempt such a move, it would be the Cowboys, a team that thrives on being at the center of the football universe. The thought of Tyreek Hill wearing that iconic helmet alone feels like something designed to dominate every sports show and social feed for months. The ripple effect of this rumor stretches far beyond Dallas, touching every corner of the league in ways that are already being felt. Defensive coordinators from rival teams are reportedly having informal conversations about how they would even begin to contain an offense featuring Tyreek Hill paired with an already talented supporting cast. Some speculate that entire draft strategies and free agency plans would shift overnight if this signing becomes reality. Teams built on zone coverage would be forced to reconsider their identities, while man coverage-heavy defenses might suddenly look outdated and exposed. The rumor suggests a future where speed becomes the single most valuable currency in football, all because the Cowboys decided to push the envelope. Media executives are said to be salivating at the ratings potential, knowing that every Cowboys game would instantly become must-watch television. This is not just about wins and losses, but about attention, relevance, and power. The speculation frames Dallas as a franchise attempting to bend the league's gravity toward itself, pulling storylines, pressure, and expectations into its orbit with one seismic move. Perhaps the most fascinating part of this entire rumor is how it taps into the mythology of the Cowboys themselves. This franchise has always existed at the intersection of football and spectacle, success and scrutiny, ambition and controversy. The idea of landing Tyreek Hill feels almost poetic, like a return to an era where Dallas was unapologetically dominant and endlessly talked about. Insiders suggest that ownership views this potential signing as a declaration, a reminder that the Cowboys do not wait for permission to be great. They simply decide. The rumor carries an emotional weight, reigniting old debates about risk versus reward, flash versus fundamentals, and legacy versus patience. Fans are split between disbelief and excitement, skepticism and hope, but no one is indifferent. And that might be the most powerful outcome of all. Whether this move happens or not, the Cowboys have already succeeded in one crucial way. They have captured the imagination of the entire league, and with the name Tyreek Hill attached to them, they have once again placed themselves at the absolute center of the football universe. As the rumor continues to gain momentum, the conversation has shifted from disbelief to cautious analysis, with many around the league trying to read between the lines of what this potential move truly represents. The speculation now is not only about Tyreek Hill joining the Cowboys, but about what kind of chain reaction this would trigger inside the organization itself. People close to the situation whisper that Dallas sees this as more than adding speed, more than adding production, but as adding fear. Fear in opponents, fear in defensive game plans, fear in rival front offices that suddenly realize the Cowboys might be willing to outspend, outthink, and outmaneuver everyone at once. The idea floating around is that Hill would instantly become the emotional engine of the offense, someone whose presence alone changes how teammates carry themselves. Practices would feel sharper, meetings more intense, and expectations heavier. This rumor paints a picture of a locker room that understands it is no longer building toward something, but standing directly in the spotlight. With Tyreek Hill, every excuse disappears, every limitation is exposed, and every opportunity feels urgent. The Cowboys, according to this speculation, want exactly that pressure, believing it forges champions rather than breaking them. Another layer of intrigue comes from how this rumored signing could redefine the identity of the Cowboys' offense in the eyes of the league. Analysts are quietly suggesting that Dallas would no longer be viewed as a traditional power built on structure and balance, but as an explosive force capable of striking from anywhere at any moment. Tyreek Hill's reputation as a player who can turn routine plays into chaos fits perfectly into this vision. The rumors suggest coaches are fascinated by the psychological warfare involved, the way defenses panic when speed threatens every blade of grass. There is talk that Dallas wants to force opponents into mistakes before the game even begins, simply by existing. This is about forcing defensive backs to hesitate, linebackers to overthink, and safeties to retreat instead of attack. The speculation frames Hill as a weapon that creates space for everyone else, even without touching the ball. In this imagined future, Dallas controls tempo, emotion, and confidence, dictating how games feel rather than reacting to them. That kind of control is rare, and the rumor insists the Cowboys believe Hill is the key to unlocking it. The business side of the NFL also looms large over this rumor, with some insiders suggesting that the Cowboys are looking beyond football entirely. Tyreek Hill is not just a player, but a global brand, a highlight factory whose clips dominate screens far beyond traditional sports audiences. The speculation hints that Dallas ownership sees a unique opportunity to merge performance with popularity, turning every game into an event and every appearance into a moment. Merchandising, international reach, and digital engagement are all rumored to factor into the equation. The Cowboys have always understood that relevance is power, and adding a star like Hill would amplify that power to unprecedented levels. Critics argue this approach is risky, but supporters counter that the Cowboys have never been afraid of being different. The rumor suggests Dallas is betting that being unforgettable is just as important as being efficient. By attaching their star to one of the most electrifying players in football, they would reinforce their identity as the league's ultimate attraction, a team that commands attention whether it wins quietly or loudly. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. There's also a growing sense that this rumor is sending a deliberate message to players across the league, especially elite talent watching from afar. The Cowboys, according to speculation, want to be seen as a destination again, a place where stars are celebrated, empowered, and given the resources to shine. Tyreek Hill represents that philosophy perfectly, a player whose style demands freedom and creativity. Insiders suggest that Dallas believes landing him would open doors for future signings, creating a domino effect of interest from other high-profile players. The idea is simple but bold. If Tyreek Hill trusts the Cowboys with his prime, why shouldn't others? This rumor positions Dallas as a franchise done with half measures, ready to embrace the risks that come with chasing greatness. It is about perception as much as reality, about reshaping how the Cowboys are viewed inside locker rooms league-wide. Even the possibility of this signing has already sparked conversations, which might be exactly what Dallas wants. From the fan perspective, the emotional roller coaster created by this rumor is impossible to ignore. Longtime supporters are torn between guarding their expectations and allowing themselves to dream big again. Tyreek Hill symbolizes excitement, unpredictability, and pure adrenaline, everything fans crave when they think about dominance. The speculation has reignited debates, memories of past eras, and visions of a future where Dallas once again feels inevitable rather than hopeful. Social spaces are buzzing with imagined scenarios, hypothetical matchups, and endless replays of what could be. This rumor has reminded fans what it feels like to believe something extraordinary might happen, even if it never does. And that emotional spark is powerful. It reconnects people to the team on a visceral level, beyond logic or caution. The Cowboys, intentionally or not, have tapped into that energy, and Tyreek Hill's name is the catalyst. Ultimately, the most compelling aspect of this entire situation is how it blurs the line between rumor and intention. Whether or not Tyreek Hill ever wears a Cowboys uniform, the speculation itself reveals a franchise eager to challenge norms and reclaim a sense of dominance. This feels less like idle chatter and more like a signal, a test of reactions, a way to gauge how the league responds to the idea of Dallas going all in. The rumor frames the Cowboys as a sleeping giant stretching its arms, reminding everyone of its reach. Tyreek Hill is the symbol of that awakening, the embodiment of speed, confidence, and disruption. If this move happens, it could reshape the NFL landscape. If it does not, it still accomplishes something profound. It reminds everyone that the Cowboys are never just another team, and that when their name is attached to a rumor this big, the entire football world stops to listen. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.